Hello, and welcome to week 3. After this week, we will be halfway through our term, and there's going to be a lot of things going on from here on out. Okay, so the first thing I want to make sure is that you know that the grading will be done by 11:59 Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. Secondly, make sure you look for time and dates for week 3 tutoring. Also, make sure that you look for week 2 tutoring recordings. So, if you couldn't make the live sessions each week, I do post the recordings. So, please make sure that you look for those. And just again, looking forward, week 6 is a shortened week. So, please make sure that you have everything done in advance so that you can turn it in on that Friday and not Sunday. All right, so getting into this week's information and class discussions, the first thing is central nervous system, otherwise known as C as in cat, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam. It is your main control hub and it's the ultimate control center. All right, it's consisting of two parts, your brain and your spinal cord. And the CNS is the main computer where all of the data is processed. Okay. And then you also, in conjunction with your CNS, have a brain, and that is divided into four lobes, which your lecture will go over, not the lecture, but your reading material will go over more in depth about the brain and the central nervous system. Then you have your peripheral nervous system, otherwise known as P as in Paul, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam. All right. PNS. And the peripheral nervous system gathers all the information, okay? And it carries out the certain tasks that our brain tells us and central nervous system all work together and tell us to move our arm, move our leg, move our hand, move our fingers, okay? There are two primary roles for the peripheral nervous system, and that is the sensory functions and the motor functions. It is divided into two major categories, the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. All right. The somatic nervous system controls voluntary actions. The autonomic nerve system is the non-controllables, like your heart beating. All right. Then that is further divided down into two parts, your sympathetic and your parasympathetic. Your sympathetic is your fight and flight, and your non sympathetic is your rest and digest, right? Which your reading will go over those more in depth. Your autonomic nervous system is known as A as an apple, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, ANS, okay? It specializes in the autonomic reflexes. It is organized again into two main teams, and that is your sympathetic, fight or flight, or your parasympathetic, your rest and digest. Then we have the touch, taste, and temperature. On the taste, the touch, and the temperature are all these tiny little antennas, okay? And they're catching all of these signals, all right? So when you touch something and it inflicts pain on you, then that tells your brain that that's dangerous and let's not do that again. If it's something like texture, it tells your brain whether it's soft or if it's rough, okay? If it's pressure, then it's how gentle or how tight maybe a hug is. And the temperature tells you how cold or how hot something is. Not temperature as far as degrees, but temperature as far as hot, cold, warm. Okay? Our sense organs are our bridge to the world. Okay, we need our fingers in order to touch. We need our nose in order to smell. We need our eyes in order to see. We need our ears in order to hear. Okay, and we need all of those senses together, and that will then all be the bridge, okay, to our world. And our brain and our central nervous system figures out what we're feeling, what we're hearing, what we're seeing, and puts it all together and gives us a big picture of what's in front of us. Okay. Then we have the endocrine system. It uses chemical messengers, okay, called hormones within our body. It's comprised of several different glands. So you have your hypothalamus, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, gonads, and pineal gland. Or the pineal gland, okay? The functions include homeostasis, regulates growth and development, influence metabolism, responding to stress, and controlling your reproductive process. And all of those topics that we went over, okay, will be gone over more in depth in your reading for this week, okay? Now on to our assignments. You have your weekly discussion question where you have to post your first response by Wednesday of each week, and then you have 2 additional responses due by Sunday of each week. You have your online lab this week, which is to construct a brain. Now, what I'm going to tell you is there's labeling involved, and you have to make sure the spelling is correct, okay? Or there will be points taken off. And you have to draw a brain. You need to label the 4 major, I put decisions. I'm not real sure. I think it says the 4 major lobes. I'm pretty sure. And then color and label the senses. And just so you know, there are 19 total labels. So when you open up your assignment, there's 2 brains that are showing. All right. The first one has the lobes, and you need to draw that brain and divide the lobes out, and you need to label them. Then the second brain you need to draw, and then there's 15 labels around there. And on your assignment, it tells you underneath what your options are for your labels. Okay. So 19 total labels, and spelling has to be correct because the spelling's at the bottom of the page. Okay. Then you have your weekly lab assignment. All right. Over chapters 10, 11, 13, and 14. One note I want you to make. I've had students repeatedly, they do not answer the rethink questions, okay? And they answer the rest of the questions on the assignment. You have to answer those rethink questions or you'll get points off, okay? I just want to tell you ahead of time because that's missed a lot by our students. And both the online lab and the weekly assignment should take about 3 to 4 hours to complete. Then you have your midterm exam or your that's about 100 minutes in length. Okay. You may not take the whole time, but it gives you 100 minutes. It's worth 100 points. You get 1 attempt only, and you get 1 question at a time. Okay. And finally, since this is week 3, we do like a mid-module advising. So if you are not passing my class, or if you've had several late assignments or several missing assignments, I will be in touch with you because I want to come up with a plan to see how we can fix whatever has made you miss, or which made you turn in your assignments late, or what is making you fail the class, and see if there's anything that I can do to help you in order to pass the class by week 6. Okay? So with that, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email me. You can see me during my office hours on Mondays between 7 and 8. You can text message me, okay? Reach out to me. That is what I'm here for. I'm here to help. I'm here to answer questions, okay? So I hope everybody has a great night and a great week. and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.